Hey gang, in this video we're going to be going over essential budget home gym equipment for you to get in shape, get strong, get fit in 2026. Hey, if you're new to the channel, my name is Lester Hernandez and this is Temple Fitness, where we use biblical principles to help people get in shape. Now in this video we're just going to be talking about gym equipment, and more specifically we're going to be talking about budget home gym equipment that you can buy without saving a ton of money, without going broke, without really having to put it on a credit card if you don't want to. And so this is in no particular order. This is what I have in my home gym, and this is what I have used to build my training business. This is what my gym equipment was based off of, and I trained hundreds of people out of there, and I did very well. And so let's get right into it. We're going to go off with the assumption that we don't have a lot of space, we don't have a lot of money, and we're going to have ease for barrier to entry, so that way it's not super hard or complicated to use. All right, so we're gonna start off that way. So the first thing that I would probably get would be a TRX suspension trainer or some form of a suspension trainer. So these are pretty popular. You can get them just about anywhere now. There are many kinds you can get. You can get the TRX brand, and there's also similar suspension trainer brands out there on Amazon. I'm assuming Temu as well. In local sporting goods stores and fitness equipment stores, you can find a whole bunch and a whole different variety of them. And one of my very first pieces of home equipment was the TRX suspension trainer I got from my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time. And she had purchased for on Facebook Marketplace. She found a TRX suspension trainer for me that I was looking it up online. I was looking it up on YouTube. This is like 2012. And it was kind of new to me. I was like, oh, super interested. And I was super curious. And then she had found it on Facebook Marketplace, bought it, and I was like, whoa. And so when I got it, I hung it up in my parents' basement, gave it a try, and it whooped me. It whooped me bad. It humbled me hard. And because at the time I was really into powerlifting, I was pretty strong overall, pretty decent bench, pretty decent squat, decent deadlift, all that. And I've never done anything. Speaking of, that's my wife right now. She had got me this, the TRX suspension trainer online, or she got it from Facebook Marketplace for cheap. And I hung it up in my parents' basement and fell in love with it. It was super tough, super humbling. And I was surprised at how much I could do with very little exposure to it, without having any courses being done, without having a trainer show me how to use the stuff. There was some basic stuff on YouTube that I looked up and I followed, and it was pretty tough and challenging. And then from there, at the time, I was working at a big commercial gym here. I was working at Good Life Fitness, and they offered the suspension trainer course there. And so I took it. It was through TRX, and it was done at one of the Good Life facilities here in the city. I did it there. It was a 2-day course, and it was awesome. I learned a whole bunch there, and I learned how to do all the exercises and all that and stuff. And I was surprised at how much you could do with it. It wasn't just rows and push-ups and some crunches on there. It was lower body, it was upper body, it was core, it was a bit of conditioning, it was flexibility, it was mobility. There were so many things that you could do with it that I didn't realize could be done. And so with that suspension trainer, I fell in love with it. And then once I got that piece of equipment, I convinced our gym, the club that I was working at, to grab a few. And so I trained clients with that. And then so that was a really good marketing piece. So if there's any trainers listening to this thing, if you can set yourself apart a little bit, the TRX suspension trainer works very well. It's relatively inexpensive. You can hang it up just about anywhere in a house, in a basement, doorway. You can mount it up. You can bring it to like a football post, all that stuff, and you can really build a good training business with it, a good boot camp business with it. And so the TRX suspension trainer would 100% recommend that, or any variation you can get. That would be one of my first choices. Number 2, I would get kettlebells, or I would get, so if it's for one person, if you're one person getting for yourself, get 2, get one light one heavy one. And there is a little bit of a learning curve with kettlebells. For most people, if they're new to it, they could probably do some kettlebell deadlifts, some squats, some goblet squats, some rows, maybe some overhead presses. They can get a little uncomfortable if you're not used to cleaning them, doing snatches, pressing, doing swings can be a little off. And so if you can, find someone who's kettlebell certified and do at least 1, maybe 2 sessions with them. If they're good, they could probably go through a whole bunch of stuff with you relatively quickly. So that way you'll get the gist of it, right? So probably more sessions if there's, the diehards out there who are gonna, rip me up in the comment section, feel free to go ahead. Maybe they can see you in person. But ultimately, if you can get like some sessions for with how to use the kettlebells, you should probably do that, because with the kettlebells, once again, 2014 I got my kettlebell certification, and at the time here in Winnipeg, they were really kind of booming. They weren't really in a whole lot of gyms. They were maybe in a couple of gyms, but with social media really blowing up, you started to really see them everywhere with CrossFit and all the stuff on social media, that you were really starting to see a lot of kettlebells pop around. And so once again, my curiosity, I had to know what it was about. Is this legit? Is it not? Is it a fad? Is it just kind of a cool thing? So I did my kettlebell cert, and it was, once again, it beat me up. It humbled me. It was super tough, but it's like, man, once again, I was surprised at how much you could do with it, right? It was a full body thing. It was strength, it was power, it was endurance, it was conditioning, and all of that within a pretty small amount of space, right? I could do everything I needed to. I can get my conditioning. I could sweat a ton. My lungs could be burning. My muscles could be like screaming, and I could really work on strength, power, endurance, conditioning, all that within like a 4x4 foot square, really. And so kettlebells, I would highly recommend that you can do your overhead presses, your rows, your floor presses for chest. You can even do like accessory work for your arms, biceps, triceps, shoulders, squatting, obviously, lunging, swings. It's so versatile that there's so many different ways you can use them with like complexes, chains. I won't go into a ton of detail and bore you, but kettlebells, one light one, one heavy one. The light one you would probably use for single arm overhead presses, probably some rows, and maybe some accessory work for like some shoulders and biceps and triceps. And then your heavier one, that's going to be for your swings, your squats, maybe your lunges and things like that, and deadlifts. So that would be number 2. And once again, this is in no particular order. Number 3 would be adjustable dumbbells. These can be a little bit pricey, but you might be able to find them on Marketplace, or you might be able to find just a set depending on your strength level, right? So there's going to be a lot you can find from like 5 pounds to 50 pounds. Some of them will go from like 10 pounds to like 90, and some of the brand new ones are like can go up to 100 something probably. And so I'm a big fan of adjustable dumbbells because very small footprint. They take up very little space in the house. They have nice stands that they can be sold with, or you can make one if you wanted to, really, if you really want to be budget with it. But the adjustable dumbbells, everything you can do with a barbell, you do a dumbbell. Everything you could do with kettlebells, kind of, you could do with dumbbells, not really, but ultimately, like, dumbbells are classic. They're never going to go away. They're always going to be useful. They're always going to be good. And so having adjustable dumbbells, it's going to be a whole lot cheaper than getting a whole set. It can take up a whole lot less space, and you're going to be saving a whole lot more money than just buying a whole set of dumbbells. So dumbbells, 100% what you can do, obviously lower body, your upper body, get some core in there, some strength, some endurance, and all that. So the dumbbells, I would 100% recommend to have into your budget home gym, right? And the fourth thing that would kind of wrap all that up for your fourth piece of equipment for your budget home gym would be an adjustable bench. Pretty basic, right? Yeah. And so an adjustable bench, you can do just a lot with it, right? Like, you can sit between sets with it, right? You can do your dumbbell bench pressing, your rows, your supported rows on there, your split squats on there. And it's a way to tie in your exercises without having to rig up certain things in a weird way. So with the adjustable bench, obviously incline, you can go probably like upright for shoulder presses, decline if you want to do decline exercises. And so having a bench really kind of ties it all in. And so with those 4 pieces of equipment, when I've worked with clients who train from home, that's kind of all they needed. And a lot of them don't have all 4. They might have 2 or 3 of those 4 things that I had recommended, and they've done extremely well and got in shape, got strong, lost body fat. And those are the 4 pieces that I would highly recommend anybody get if they're starting their budget home gym or they're looking for the next purchase. And so if you're interested in any of these, I will link up my preferences or my recommendations online. Yes, with any purchase there, I will get a small kickback to support the channel. So, and I thank you for doing that, for using the link. And with honorable mentions, let's put in some honorable mentions there. First honorable mention, no particular order, once again, get something for cardio, right? If you can find a used treadmill on Facebook Marketplace, everybody's getting rid of them. Find someone who's moving. They're probably going to be like, hey, go take it, or they'll be super cheap. So the treadmill I have in my house, I got from Facebook Marketplace. I think it was $200, and it's pretty good. I got that in 2019, and it still works very well, and I actually just used it earlier today. Something to do cardio with. Treadmill, you can walk. It's better than a walking pad. A walking pad, they're kind of dinky and all that. I wouldn't, if you want a walking pad, go for it. But ultimately, if you can get a treadmill, you can go uphill incline walking, you can run, and just walk on a regular basis. Like, that's always going to be a good thing for you. So get a treadmill if you can. If you got space for it, great. If not, some form of cardio. And if you can do jumping rope in your basement, luckily I kind of have a high ceiling in my basement, so a jump rope is very inexpensive. They can range anywhere from $3 to like 50 or 100 for the fancy ones. Get a jump rope if you can. That's very inexpensive. Third thing for cardio, if you don't want to go outside and walk or run, if you can build a step or find a stepper, like some form of a step box, step up, step down, step up, step down. It's stairs, it's very budget. It's super budget, it takes a very little space, and it's like, it's super effective. Low impact, you can do a ton with it. Yeah, if I would just get a box. It sounds crazy, but it works. Another honorable mention, and we'll wrap this one up here, is going to be resistance bands. Any form that you like, whether they have the handles on them or they're just a big giant loop, monster band style, they do work pretty well. And so having that for some accessory work works great. If you're traveling, it works great. Same thing with the TRX Suspension Trainer. If you're traveling, bring it along with you. It's an honorable mention because with resistance bands, if you're kind of a newbie to training and working out and lifting weights, finding ways to rig it up or set it up in a way to get the full resistance that you need is a bit of a skill, and it's a skill not everybody learns or understands quite yet. So finding ways to do rows with it can be weird. Same thing with pull downs or something with triceps and biceps. It can be kind of a weird thing, and even squats. So it's an honorable mention. Having the bands works very well, works well for mobility as well, stretching, and even added resistance for, strapping it onto your dumbbells, or if you have a barbell as well. So that is all for today. That is my list for the budget home gym essentials, 4 pieces of equipment. Once again, it's the TRX Suspension Trainer, kettlebells, adjustable dumbbells, and an adjustable bench. And with honorable mention, something for cardio, maybe a treadmill, maybe a jump rope, or maybe just a box to step up and step down. Last honorable mention would be resistance bands. And that is it for today. Once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.